First meeting in August. Get started.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the council of the city of Long Beach on Tuesday, August 6, 2019 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Bendo.
Present.
Councilmember Mandel.
Present.
Councilmember Moore.
Present.
Vice President Diamond is absent. President Ramos.
Here.
Let the record indicate the presence of acting city manager Robert Agostisi and assistant corporation counsel Rich Barrios. Now a salute to the flag.
Mr. Barrios, would you lead us? To the flag. United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I would ask the acting city manager to give us the update.
All right, as a reminder, the Farmers Market at Austin Plaza is back in County Plaza on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Shop local while listening to great music. Tonight at 8 p.m. on Riverside Boulevard Beach, the city's free summer concert series continues with the Italian. For a full list of upcoming concerts, visit the city's website or refer to the newsletter that all residents receive in the mail. In addition, Fun of the Park is back on the swing, providing family-friendly activities at all city parks on weekdays throughout the summer. Tomorrow's activities, puppet show in Georgia Park. The 15th annual Curb Bike Ride takes place this Saturday, August 10th. The Curb event is an 11-mile ride and race around the city of Long Beach. This ride is great for adults and children of all ages. The West End, Canals, Bay Drive, Lonson's Channel, and the Boardwalk are just a few of the points along this year's route. Visit the city's website for more information. While last week was the 8th annual Long Beach International Film Festival featuring shorts at the beach, this Saturday night, Long Beach Movie Nights continues with the showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Grand Boulevard Beach. The city will host the Lifeguard Memorial 1 mile and half-mile swim on Sunday, August 18th. The event is in honor of all the deceased men and women who served in the Long Beach Lifeguard Patrol. All swimmers over the age of 16 who can swim 1 mile in 55 minutes or less are invited to participate. For details, visit longbeachny.gov/races.
Yep, please.
Okay, we're starting. Item 1 is resolution electing a temporary president of the city council of the city of Long Beach.
I make a motion to nominate Councilman John Bendo as temporary president. Call the motion to.
Do you have a second?
A second.
Vote on Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
President Ramos.
No.
Item 2 is a resolution electing the president of the city council of the city of Long Beach.
I'd like to nominate Anise Moore.
Do you have a second?
I will.
Is that what you vote on?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
President Ramos.
Yes. Congratulations.
Our first public hearing is for a resolution granting waiver of on-street parking requirements for premise 14 East Park Avenue, second floor for a tattoo studio.
Evening, okay, we're going to call this item. We'll ask the owners to kindly step forward at this time. They're present. Good evening and welcome. Please state your name.
Angela Sazaki.
And are you from the city of Long Beach?
I'm from East Rockaway, but I live in Long Beach.
All right, thank you. All right, we have several questions for you, and then at the end of that period of time, we'll come back and we'll actually vote on the item. Would you like to tell us something about the nature of your business?
Sure. I do custom tattoos, and I would like to operate a private studio where I can give my clients a really nice and clean, private atmosphere to be tattooed. I'm also taking a course to do microblading, which I'll be offering in the spring,
All right, and what are the hours of operations?
1 to 8 p.m.
And how many employees?
Just myself.
Okay, and will your business actually require outside or curbside deliveries?
No.
Okay, so in recent years, many of our local businesses have adopted eco-friendly practices. Have you considered this in any way?
Well, I already have a plan for recycling. I will have any sort of paper or plastic goods be disposed of by recycle bins, or any sort of biohazardous materials will be disposed of appropriately.
All right, at this time, are there any other questions from the council?
It'll be by appointment.
Yes, only by appointment.
Good, at this time, we'll open up the floor for the public. Are there any questions from the public? Seeing none, I will close the hearing. You can sit down and we will be with you shortly.
Thank you.
Okay, so on to the regular calendar. Item 3 is a resolution granting waiver of Washington Park requirements for North 14th East Park Avenue for a tattoo studio. Here has been held on this item already. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to enter into a contract for removal of accumulations of grit and grease from the water pollution control plant with the lowest responsible bidder.
Okay, at this time, we're going to ask Mr. Miranda to come forward and address the dais.
Good evening. This is an annual contract that we did, the first process at the wastewater treatment plant. There's a process called the grit chamber that removes any grit, sand, and non-soluble type materials out of the waste stream, and that needs to be carted off-site. So this is a contract to do that for the year.
Okay, would you like to speak with respect to the bidding process for this item?
And, this is bid through our purchasing department, so I did not get a tally tonight of how many bids did go out and how many were received, so.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the council?
So they're just carting off the.
Yeah, they just cart it off and they dispose of it. We get a manifest at the end that they dispose of it in the proper landfill.
Okay, and the renewal, is this comparable to what we're paying now?
Yes.
All right, are there any other questions? At this time, we'll ask questions from the public. Questions with respect to item number 4. Okay, at this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. Roy Lester.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Lester.
I see I'm not alone tonight. The question on this is, it's $1,200 a 6 cubic yards. How many cubic yards do we take away each year?
All right, is there anyone, Ms. Miranda, would you like to respond?
No, I don't have that data on me at this point.
Interesting question.
That's where the real money is.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're bidding on something, but we don't know what it's costing us.
No, I think it's quite clear with respect to the cost.
Don't know, it's clear as to the respect as the cost per 6 yards. But if we're taking away 100 of those containers, or 1,000, or 10,000, it's a really big difference, really big.
Well, I'm sure, once the project and or whatever the projects are, once they're completed, because obviously we're moving forward now, we'll have a better idea because we'll have itemized information that will present to the public.
Okay. And once again, I'm just asking, when it's the same thing. I see 2 bids were received. It's not a good process where we're only getting 1 or 2 bids. I know it's the same people and stuff like that, but if there's anything the city can do to increase the number of bids, I think it would really benefit the taxpayers of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to address item number 4? Seeing none, we can move forward.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 2019-20 fiscal year.
Sure.
All right.
This is a housekeeping item, excuse me, that's needed because our chief plant operator at the water purification facility, Kevin McCarthy, retired recently on July 31st. The challenge here presented is that Kevin is currently the only employee in the water purification plant with something called a 1B license. Got that right? That's issued by the Department of Health, and it's needed in order to run our specific water purification plant. So until a successor is found, Kevin has very generously agreed to come back on a part-time basis for 40 hours a month. This item simply takes part of Kevin's full-time salary, transfers it to a part-time line.
Are there any questions from the council? Just one brief question with respect to the licensing. At this time, I know within other organizations, there's some level of professional training that's provided to workers within the unit. Do we plan to do this? And how do we move forward in terms of a succession plan?
Well, that's actually built into the licensure requirements. You have to pass an examination, and you have to also obtain a certain level of what I call clinical experience, which is really the experience requirement. So yes, that's built into the process itself in terms of the certification process, that is.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. At this time, we'll open up item number 5 to the public. Are there any questions with respect to item number 5? Seeing none, we will move. Oh, yes. Eileen Hessen?
Thank you. I'm sorry if this is a dumb question, but the money is going for a full-time $27,000 salary into a 40-hour-a-month salary or not? In other words, is he making the same amount, say, per hour that he would?
He actually is. He
Okay.
offered very generously,
Thank you.
exactly the same hourly wage.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Are there any other questions with respect to item number 5? All right, seeing none, we'll move on.
Okay, item 6 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for various capital projects in and for the city of Long Beach, Nassau County, New York State. The estimated total cost thereof is $20,510,441. Appropriating said amount therefore, including the expenditure of $12,041 expected to be received in the state or federal aid, authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $20,510,441 bonds of said city to finance said appropriation, and further authorizing any amounts received from the United States of America and or the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of such capital projects as indicated herein, or redemption of any notes and bonds issued therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to the taxes for payment of the principal of and interest on said notes and bonds. This item is for publication only. I gotta read it one more time too. This item is for publication only, and the hearing will be held August 20th. And I believe you have a motion on this item.
A motion to replace the previously provided Schedule 1 with an updated Schedule 1?
Second.
Second.
Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
And President Brown.
Yes.
All right, item 7 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for improvements to the Park Place water treatment plant, stating the estimated total cost thereof is $800,000, appropriating said amount for such purpose, and authorizing the issuance of $800,000 bonds to finance said appropriation and the expenditure of city water rate charges up to $800,000. Grant funds expected to be received from the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of said object or purpose, or redemption of the city's obligations issued therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to taxes for the payment of the principal of and interest on said bonds. This item is publication only, and hearing will be held August 20th at 7 p.m. And finally, item number 8 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for replacement of the city's elevated water storage tank, stating the estimated total cost thereof is $9,240,540, appropriating $9 million for such purpose and authorizing the issuance of $9 million bonds to finance said appropriation. $240,540 to be appropriated in the future, and the expenditure of city water rate charges up to $3 million grant funds expected to be received from the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of said object or purpose or redemption of the city's obligations issued therefore, or to be budgeted as offset to taxes for the payment of the principal and the interest on said bonds. This item is for publication only, and here will be held August 20th at 7 p.m. I will move on to the voting. Okay, so we're at item number 3 for voting, resolution granting the waiver of off-street parking requirements for numbers 14 East Park Avenue for a tattoo studio. Introduce and move the adoption of this item. Second? Voting, Councilmember Ramos.
Yes, and good luck with your new business here in Long Beach and welcome.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Welcome to Long Beach, and yes.
President Moore.
Welcome to Long Beach, congratulations.
Yes.
Item 4 is a resolution authorizing the acting city manager to enter into a contract for the removal of accumulation of grit and grease from the water pollution control plant with the lowest responsible. Introduce and move the adoption of this item. Second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Ramos.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Vice President Bendo.
Yes.
President Moore.
Yes.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds to the 2019-2020 fiscal year. Introduce and move the adoption of this item. Second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Ramos.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
President Moore.
Yes.
And item 6 is a resolution authorizing publication of hearing of ordinance authorizing financing for various capital projects in and for the city of Long Beach, Nassau County, New York, stating the estimated total cost therefore of $20,510,441, appropriating said amount therefore, and including the expenditure of $12,041 expected to be received in state or federal aid, authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $20,510,441 bonds of said city to finance said appropriation, and further authorizing any amounts received from the United States of America and or the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of such capital project as indicated herein, or redemption of any notes and bonds issued therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to the taxes for payment of the principal and and interest on said notes and bonds. Introduce move this item as amended.
I will.
Second? Councilmember Ramos. Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Vice President Bender.
I'm just going to ask Commissioner Brando to please set up a meeting to discuss this item and the other two, since they're big capital projects, big borrowing, just so we can discuss the details of them before the next meeting. With that, yes.
President Moore.
Yes.
Item 7 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for improvements to the Park Place water treatment plants, stating that the estimated total cost thereof is $800,000, appropriating said amount for such purpose, and authorizing the issuance of $800,000 bonds to finance said appropriation and the expenditure of city water rate charges and up to $800,000 grant funds expected to be received from the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of said object or purpose or redemption of the city's obligations issued therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to taxes for the payment of the principal and interest in said bonds. Would you move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Ramos.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Vice President Bendo.
Yes.
President Moore.
Yes.
And finally, item 8 is a resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for replacement of the city's elevated water storage tank, stating the estimated total cost thereof is $9,240,540, appropriated $9 million for such purpose, and authorizing the issuance of $9 million bonds to finance said appropriation of $245,040 to be appropriated in the future, and the expenditure of city water rate charges and up to $3 million grant funds expected to be received from the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of said object or purpose for redemption of the city's obligations issued therefore, to be budgeted as an offset to taxes for the payment of the principal of and interest on said bonds. Introduce and move the adoption of this item.
I will.
Second,
I will.
voting, Councilmember Morano,
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel,
Yes.
Vice President Bender,
Yes.
President Moore.
Yes.
City manager's monthly personnel report has been filed by the city clerk. We'll make a motion to close the meeting.
I will.
Second,
I will.
voting, Councilmember Morano,
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel,
Yes.
Vice President Bender,
Yes.
President Moore.
Before we close the meeting, I'd just like to express my thanks. I'd like to thank all of you that are here tonight. As a leader of the city council, my role is to simply facilitate the meetings, to collaborate with my colleagues that are here so that we can restore stability and to model what good government looks like. Again, the time is for us, it's here, it's now, for us to move the city of Long Beach forward, and tonight, the present council is just sending a clear and timely message to you, all of you who are here, our residents. Our system is broken, and we will begin the conversation the next couple of months in an effort to fix it. I will communicate several changes in the next 2 weeks as we move forward, and I will keep everyone aware, and we will move forward together. Again, it is just a ceremony, but it's also a statement that we are committed to moving our city forward. We're committed to open communication, transparency. With that, I say thank you and yes. As we get ready for good and welfare, I just want to once again emphasize that civic engagement is one of the highest forms of freedom. And tonight, the council once again encourages all of you to get involved. We encourage our residents to participate. I know in times past, there's been a great deal of frustration because you raised a lot of questions and you did not receive answers. But today, this is a new day, we're charting new territory. We're going to do everything that we can do to get you the answer that you deserve. You pay taxes here, you've invested your time here, and you deserve answers. And so from this day forward, that's my commitment to you. And so tonight, it's time for us to focus in on a real conversation. It's time for us to focus in on solutions, all right? Our conversations moving forward will be solution-based. We'll partner together to make sure that it happens. This is a democracy, which means that everyone here has the right to voice their opinion. We may agree or we may disagree, but we must agree to disagree. But again, I'm going to remind everyone to please, let's use what we call descriptive language. It means that we describe the problem, but we will not engage in personal attacks. We're not going to attack people. That's evaluative. We're going to describe what's taking place. And we will get to the bottom of our issues. Civil discourse right now is needed more than ever in this country. And so we're going to set the standard right here within the city of Long Beach. We will engage in civility. Your 3 minutes will be honored. The past practice, I understand that there's something different happening at the beginning of this year. We are not going to honor that. We're going to allow for you to get your questions answered. Only asking as my last request tonight, please remember that we want to be respectful and we want to make sure that everyone here has the opportunity to come and stand and ask their questions. We also want to encourage new voices to come to the microphone. Sometimes we hear the same voices, but if this is about all of us engaging in a conversation, then everyone's voice needs to be heard. All right, so again, all I can say is just because you can say it, doesn't mean that you need to say it. With that, let's begin. All right. And tonight, our first speaker, Allison Blanchett. Pass. All right, we'll hear from Nora Egan.
Hi, Nora Egan. Congratulations, Anissa, well deserved. I just have a question. The personnel report, there's a couple of errors in it. So I don't know who makes up the personnel report. Some people are resigned a couple of times on the same day. And then, I believe Ryan McTiernan had a change of position, and that's missing from the personnel report.
He hasn't changed his position, he's just assumed additional responsibilities.
But you don't,
His position remains identical.
but he took on a new role as well.
He's
The
just,
same
I
time.
asked him to assist his his position is vacant, but he has not taken on a new position.
Okay, so just to be clear, so, this, I think you're referring to the Director of Community Development position?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just want to be clear for the record, this is what you're referring to?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, and then I just really quickly, just want to wish best of luck to Eddie Verona, whose last meeting tonight and goes off to college.
Oh, you're meeting too.
Congratulations, Eddie.
Jake Gessler.
Good evening, Jay Gessler. I'd just like to say how refreshing it is to have someone sit in the president's seat that doesn't ooze contempt for those that have the audacity to come up to these meetings and address.
All right, we're trying to go with the scripted, we'll take it, all right.
On that note, congratulations to you, Ms. Moore. I look forward to your time as president, and I hope that you will receive the full, triple, underlined cooperation of the city management team in your efforts to right the city from the disastrous course that has been put on by your predecessors. On the subject of the city management team, and more specifically, acting city manager Rob Agostini, I would urge your first official act as council president be to ask for resignation, Mr. Agostini. His resignation as acting city manager followed by his complete termination from city employment. As touched on in your earlier comments, there's been a big problem with the exchange of information back and forth between the city and its residents. That has been Mr. Agostini's pretty much the hallmark of his career with the city. He has been the architect of obstructing the free exchange of information between the city and its residents for years now. It's time for it to end. Please, I beg you, fire Mr. Agostini. And lastly, maybe it's inappropriate, but has Ms. Diamond resigned her position, or is she just absent for some other reason?
Okay, so just for purpose of clarification, Councilwoman Diamond is actually vacationing with her family. And so, again, when we have information.
I gotta ask if it's inappropriate to discuss it.
All right. Thank you. All right, Ronald McHenry.
Hello, I just want to put our hands together for this historical day in Long Beach. Not only that, we have broken through in this time of racism in this country by electing our first councilwoman, right, black councilman, but we have also, in the history of Long Beach, now our first black council president. Let's give it up for the Lord. I can just hear the echoes of "We shall overcome," right? So in this community, right, and it's not happening all over, but here in Long Beach, we're making a statement, not just with words, but with actions, that we have overcome today, right, by having our first Black councilwoman in power. I don't know how this is huge for us, and we're just gonna march forward, because we are a diverse community, and we need that, shown here in council. So, with that said, I just wanted to have a couple of questions, and my first question is, why is Long Beach not celebrating National Night Out this year? National Night Out was also canceled last year, 2018. The North Park Intervention and Crisis Team has not met since September 2017. In 2016, the Long Beach Police did participate in a community forum held at the Martin Luther King Center on July 13, 2016, which Commissioner Tagnon did not attend, neither any of his lieutenants. So for some of you who don't know, what is the National Night Out? National Night Out is an annual event that promotes police-community partnerships to make our neighborhood safer. It creates more caring policies. This provides a great community to bring police and neighborhoods together and create a positive circumstance, right? So thousands of communities from all over the United States participate every first Tuesday in August to celebrate this day. So the question is, why, again, are we not celebrating a National Night Out? So for the point of historical accuracy, community leaders, ministers, clergy leaders, and residents within the North Park community have asked for a structured community policy since 2008. How long will this community remain unheard? We need community relationships. If you don't know us, you will stop us. If you don't know us, you will take it and pass judgment. Just recently, one of the community leaders, Marcus Tinker, he was very upset. He was stopped while going to his house in February, and we're asking, why, right? He was just driving to his house and he was stopped for parking. So this is a prime example that the community policing in Long Beach has failed. So what is community policing policy, right? We're asking for a policy. What is it? What are the initiatives to promote a good relationship between the North Park community and the Long Beach police? So we want to make it clear, right? We know there was a barbecue about a year ago, and that's not the answer we're looking for. We want a good relationship with our police and community working together, right? It happened years ago, and we want to bring that back. We need a policing model which respects the community, builds trust within the community, and will help members in the community to share vital information with the police officers to ensure safety, not only for community members, but also for the officers, right? In other words, community policing benefits us all, right? And we just ask the council to address this ongoing issue. Thank you.
Okay, stay there, please. I saw the commissioner earlier. Is the commissioner here? Is Commissioner Tagnon here? He left? Okay. So first I'll say that I'm very concerned that we did not have a National Night Out tonight. All across Nassau County, in other municipalities, they are celebrating National Night Out. I think this should be a priority. And again, I will reach out to all of my colleagues here that we will make community policing a priority. This is long overdue, as you just said, 2008. We have a long way to go, but we must build a relationship between our police and our community. I know for a fact, I feel strongly, I can say this with confidence, that our police here want to be connected to the North Park community, and we must find innovative and creative ways to make that happen. And so I will look into this matter, and I will bring that information back to this body as soon as possible, as soon as I've had conversations with my colleagues. So thank you for bringing this to our attention. It must be addressed.
It must be. Thank you.
Thank you. Tyler Arnett.
Hello, Ms. Moore.
Hi,
On behalf of me and my mother, I'd like to say congratulations for
Thank
everything.
you.
I'd like to request the full attention of everyone in the room right now, if that's okay.
Okay, just speak a little closer to the microphone because we want to hear you. You're well dressed tonight, you are sharp, and we are proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Earlier today, I had written a speech that was filled with many unkind words, and it was prepared for many unkind people. But on behalf of the celebration here today, I have to say I shall not speak some of the speech. So, as the poet Robert Frost had put it, two roads diverged in the Yellowwood, and we ourselves in the city of Long Beach have found ourselves in a path that is very divided, and the Yellowwood that divides said path is run as the people who had created the Second Act. Is it not true that our forefathers and our fathers had created a country that was made to be governed by people who were accountable to the people? Was this not declared in our Declaration of Independence and enshrined within our Constitution? And I know I ask many questions that are more philosophical in nature and that cannot be addressed by looking at a chart or can be answered through a simple Google search. But I would rather ask a question that appeals to the hearts of the many and allows the citizenry to really understand the government that they've been given by their ancestors, and that's been enshrined in tradition. The question I have to ask is the accountability of the government in which we have been given and the local government as a whole, with individuals and city council members who are not here for their own funerals seems a bit disappointing, to say the least. But I have to ask about the accountability because earlier today I had a very sour taste in my mouth because I knew individuals would not be here today in order to be accountable for the citizenry. And the fact we have to ask the question whether or not our own representatives are truly representing us is disgraceful in all honesty. High taxes, water which has gone bad, budget cuts which have gone awry, and I hate to say it, but leaders who simply do not like the citizens that they govern. I have to ask you this morning, in light of everything, how will you fix this? And how shall you address the people tonight?
Well, first of all, you made a lot of comments. I want to address one. You said that accountability, you believe that accountability is a philosophical concept, and I'm going to say that's not true. I'm going to say that we can only engage the citizens when we begin to engage them with truth. Okay, we can't do anything else before we provide truth, before we're open and honest about what we do. We cannot engage people until we're transparent, but also we can't engage people until we come to a place where we can admit that we're not perfect and that mistakes happen. The people would rather hear us say, look, we didn't get it right today, than say everything's fine. So that's where we are right now. That's why we're beginning this conversation. Anissa Moore is not going to fix anything because Anissa Moore is going to work with everyone who's here at this dais. And also Anissa Moore is going to ask the people who are sitting out in the audience, how do we do this? Good leadership is not about one person making decisions. It's about one person organizing the people to come together that we have a collective purpose. That's what leadership is about. And for the next couple of months, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to engage the people, hear from the people, try to make the best decisions I can to communicate those decisions to my colleagues. We do this as a team, and I believe that will be the beginning of us and you, as a young person here in the audience, seeing the changes. But you will see the change, all right? And I believe that you'll be proud, and someday I think you'll be sitting in the seat as well. So thank you for your question.
I would like to first thank Mr. Edward Verona III for everything that which he has provided me. He has introduced me to these city council meetings and has introduced me more to you this morning. And I would like to thank him very much for that. I would like to say a round of applause for Eddie Verona.
Where are you? Stand up, Eddie. This is your last meeting. I see you when I came to your birthday. Congratulations. And thank you, and that means that just because Eddie is not here, I need to see you next week and the following weeks.
I swear to you that I will, Ms. Moore. I swear to you that I will.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Mike DeLaurie.
Good evening, City Council members. Mike DeLaurie, Long Beach, New York.
Good evening.
Congratulations, Councilman President New York.
Thank you.
This is actually a good commentary, so. Good evening, council members. I thought it was important to mention an issue that came up last night. A neighbor of mine sent me this text last night at 10:10 p.m. Just called the cops on Mio Posto Restaurant. They were doing construction and cutting cement outside and I cannot sleep. I was headed back home from 7-Eleven on Long Beach Road when I received the text. I pulled into the parking lot at New York Avenue and West Olive Street. Here's what I saw. 2 police cars with officers outside of their cars, along with a building department inspector. I stayed and watched at a distance because I wanted to make sure there was not a bigger issue going on. I eventually walked over and mentioned that I received a text from a neighbor. Being on the Civic Association, people in my area, which is the Walks, text me things because they know I go to meetings like this and bring up issues or recommendations. The point is this. I want to commend the police dispatcher who took the call and the 2 officers who responded, along with the building department inspector, Richard Schill. In my opinion,
We can clap for our police officers.
that is quick action. They had gotten in contact with the manager of the restaurant and said he needed to get down here ASAP. He arrived and there was further conversations. After about 20 minutes, I left. Many times we hear at council meetings a lot of problems that exist. I want to publicly commend the police department, the building department, and others. If you see or hear something, say something. Call the police if need be. Don't feel that you are bothering them. They will show up, and quickly. On a different topic, I want to thank all the lifeguard personnel who have rescued so many people this past 2 weeks, and many also after the beach closes. The summer is a little past the halfway mark. Lastly, on behalf of the Long Beach Lions, I want to thank Mr. Miranda for his efforts in the Pacific Park Playground, Lions Fountain, and the Lions Ball on Park Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Santoso?
Good evening, San Benito, Long Beach. As I start, I'd like to congratulate Vice President Bendo on his vice presidency, and even greater congratulations to a very long and well-deserved presidency for Ms. Anissa Moore. Congratulations, well served.
Thank you.
She was waiting a long time. Question, I remember when we were going over the community development block grant stuff, I'm not really too sure the term. There was a salary associated with the director position. Is that position, community development director, which Mr. McKiernan now holds, on salary of someone range of $47,000?
He doesn't actually hold the position, that's what I was trying to explain before, Sam. He's just assisting with the functions associated with that position.
Where does that
The
salary?
position itself is vacant.
The position is vacant. Yeah, he holds the position and it's vacant.
He doesn't hold that position.
He just fulfills the role.
No, he's assisting with some of the functions associated with that position, which I asked him to do, the chicken and health.
Okay, understood. Thanks for the clarification, appreciate that. And another question asking for a friend. In regards to the investigations and the audits that the city has been tasked with or receiving, is the city paying for any outside lawyers for any present or former city employees in connection or association with the various investigations underway by the state comptroller, district attorney, and the U.S. Attorney's offices?
None that I'm aware of.
None. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you, thank you. Roy Lester?
Roy Lester, Long Beach. It's more, thank you for changing the procedure. It's just the proper way to conduct things. And people come up and they ask questions and they deserve answers.
Absolutely.
I really, really appreciate that, and so does everybody else, I'm sure. A couple of questions, and listen, I like it, But if you think that we're gonna be easy on you, we're not.
I didn't expect it. Your name would be Roy Lester.
Mr. Bendo asked for a meeting with the commissioner regarding all the expenditures of the projects, all the projects. Is that going to be a public meeting?
Okay, so I wasn't aware of the fact that Mr. Bennett was going to talk about the meeting situation, but once this meeting is over, I will be briefing, those individuals who are sitting here. I'll be briefing Mr. Bendo, Mandel, and Mr. Ramo in terms of establishing, meetings. There will be several different types of meetings that I've envisioned. That's not going to be just the only meeting that's going to take place. There will be open meetings, but the meeting will be run in a different way, and I want to roll that out in the right way, because I have a lot of ideas with respect to how we'll do this. But we will have open information where residents will be able to come after work, sit here, and actually hear the dialogue. We'll also have engaged people in terms of having access to reports. So other people will give us reports so that anyone who's here will have the opportunity to become more aware of what's taking place within the city. And I think this will help us in terms of bridging the communication gap between the residents and us as the leadership.
Okay, Mr. McNally has come up several times and pointed to.
Yes, and I've had that conversation with him as well, and I actually support open meetings. It's very important. It's done every place else. I serve on other boards, so I'm aware of it.
Good. The boardwalk, the bike lanes, I brought it up last meeting, somebody else brought it up. I go there in the morning, it's, people are just not aware of it. We talked about marking them in some way, but, if you guys could pursue it, because someone will be hit, they have been hit already, and as an attorney, it's an open and shut case against the city as far as I'm concerned. And there's no reason for that. There are ways to address it. But people still wander into that bike lane all the time. And they're just not aware of it. And the last thing, I guess I'm kind of disappointed that nobody knows what number 4 is going to cost us. We only have $350,000 in that particular, in the contractual service budget. Okay, if we have 6-yard trips, that's $1.2 million. That would exhaust that budget, and I'm sure that budget is for other things. To vote on something and have no idea what it's gonna cost, really, it's not fiscally responsible.
Also, just remember, the whole purpose is giving authorization to engage in the purchase. So that's the way we look at it sometimes in terms of how we go ahead and move forward with votes, because then otherwise, waiting forever would actually stop the progress.
No, I
But
understand.
your point is well taken in
But
terms
we
of
have a
what happened.
history of it. Ms. Moore, we have history year after year.
Oh,
This is
I've
not
seen it.
new,
It's not new, but we will address it, and there will be additional reports so that we can get that information out, and also that we can receive some information ourselves. So there will be changes with respect to that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Lou Duval.
Good evening, Mr. Staff.
Good evening.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Second of all, I got a couple of very positive things. I've noticed in the last week or so that the broken boards on the benches are being replaced. Good to see. Also, in terms of the beach, I always notice in the morning that the beachcomber is cleaning the beach. Recently I was down on the beaches in Lido, and they're not as nice as the beaches in Long Beach. They don't have that. They have replenishing, but there's still a lot of shells. There's still shells on the beach. So, but it seems to be working. They just seem to be in very good shape. It's nice to see. And third thing, I wasn't thinking about it at all, but when I said something about the bike lanes, I was thinking about it recently. I know on highways occasionally have the cat's eyes that light up, or not light up, when they're reflecting. I don't know if that's something that could be incorporated into the bike lane. It may be a tripping hazard, I don't know, but just something else that might be able to look into.
Okay, but if you have the opportunity, if you just email that to us, we can
Sure.
send that information on, and then we can address that.
Okay, great. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, and also, we just want to pause and just acknowledge, our workforce for making sure that our beaches are clean.
Oh, yeah,
So
no,
thank you,
it's great. It's really nice to see. It's great. Good job.
thank you. All right, Kathy Levine. Good evening.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, Kathy, you just lower your microphone so that we can hear you.
Better?
Better.
I read in Newsday on Friday.
Wait, hold on, can they hear you? No, all right. So you're gonna move up a little bit closer.
Is that better? I read in Newsday on Friday that the city of Long Beach is investing $100,000 to acquire or demolish zombie houses. There are no zombie houses on my block. That's because since Superstorm Sandy, my neighbors on State Street have raised their homes, refurbished them, and invested a small fortune to improve our neighborhood. However, there is a zombie hospital on my block. I asked the city council tonight to find funding for the zombie hospital and demolish this hideous building full of mold that has become an eyesore in our otherwise wonderful neighborhood. If my next door neighbor's house was in that condition, it would have been torn down years ago. Don't let South Nassau get away with this. They own that hospital and they have plenty of FEMA funds to demolish it and rid our block of this huge monstrosity. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, obviously, that is my area, I walk by it on a regular basis. It is an eyesore, it's been there forever, can I say it, I don't like to use those words, but it is disgusting. And, we will get to the bottom of it, because again, I feel strongly about this issue. South Nassau, again, owes us the money, and they need to find a way. And, I will be very vocal with respect to what takes place at the hospital, so thank you for your advocacy. At this time, we'll hear from Noel Grimes.
Well, good
Good evening.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for coming tonight.
I'm grateful the city council decided it was time to move on from city council president Aramo. Walking out from not only one, but two good welfare sessions show he is not capable of serving the community. In addition, Mr. Aramo has been lying about his hours to receive pension credit from his time as city council president by being absent at these meetings. He has failed to update his hours to adjust to the sore loser status, and
Okay,
therefore
we're not
must
gonna use
resign.
evaluative language.
All right,
Let's get
sorry.
around it.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
And therefore must resign or be expelled before another investigation comes on our field. In addition, Mr. Agostisi is not immune from these bad actions either. From his rude behavior to his texting, to his involvement in the payout scandal, to bonding us in debt, and of course, refusing to call out Ryan McTiernan for his attacks on our democracy by changing the cards repeatedly. It's time for the city council not only to change financially, but in its attitude towards the public, and this can be done by changing the attitude and firing and expelling Mr. Agostisi, Mr. Aramo, and Councilwoman Diamond. Thank you.
Okay, so the people voted. Just for clarification, the people voted. The people did, hold on, we're going to have order here. The people did vote, and his term, along with Councilwoman Diamond's term, ends on December 31st, and we will respect that, all right? But we're going to move forward now, let's hear from Eddie Verona. Thank you.
Eddie Verona. Congratulations, Councilwoman Moore. It's so refreshing to be treated with respect, and I just think it's so good that questions will actually be answered, and that a city council will be accountable to the people, not accountable to the people. And, but I got involved in the city because of its deteriorating finances in the 2018 budget crisis. This is when we were out of money. We had a $2.1 billion deficit that we could not pay, faced with a 12% tax hike, and massive layoffs. Statements were released that the entire fire department would be laid off, or the entire part-time workforce of the city would be laid off. This unequal distribution of cuts and these proposed cuts, I got involved because these cuts were just not fiscally sound. And I proposed $1.4 million in cuts this year and $2 million worth of cuts. $2 million of cuts this year, $1.4 million last year. But as I began to be involved, these problems were amplified and got much worse. But there is a glistening of hope. The resounding primary defeat of this administration and the change in presidency shows that this city is heading in the right direction. I hope this council and the new administration that takes effect will be fiscally conscious and will be truly free of political machines. To ensure this city is affordable for my generation, I ask the remaining council and new members to budget responsibly, reduce borrowing, and make sure that cuts that need to be made are made. But as this city enters a new era, I unfortunately will not be there to participate. In 2 weeks, I will depart for Washington, D.C. to be able to attend the Catholic University of America. But even though my involvement in the city will end, this will only be temporary. As after college, I will return to Long Beach and continue to fight for this city. Additionally, I wanted to thank everyone in this city who has supported me. Everyone who has commented on Facebook, given me advice and mentorship, and most importantly, voting to reject this administration and to support my ideas. Thank you to all, and God bless this city. Congratulations.
Good evening. Good evening, and congratulations, Anissa. I look forward to your leadership, and I hope that you will be instituting some of those commissions made up of residents. Thank you. I'm going to add a little bit about those zombie houses that was talked about in Newsday. One question is, why are we paying for that? Why don't the owners or the landlords of the zombie houses pay for that? That's my first question. And my second is, since I think everyone agrees it's not only an eyesore, but hazardous for that hospital to remain standing, that Building Commissioner, Mr. Kemmons, go look at it, condemn it, and get the thing demolished. I believe that South Nassau has not really spent 1 penny of the FEMA money in Long Beach because they had so many grants from New York State, et cetera. So the $2.5 million that has been estimated to knock that down is a drop in the bucket to South Nassau. I'll go back to that question about why the landlords don't pay for it.
Okay, so let's address the zombie house question first. Is there anyone here that can speak to this particular issue? Because I know that when you look at the actual budget in terms of what's allotted for the community lot grant development fund, there is $100,000 in the budget, but that money was actually earmarked. So for example, if all of us as a community identify a zombie house, then the city would partner with another nonprofit organization to actually remove that particular house.
Well, I'm happy we have the money and I'm happy it's being done, but I still question why the owner of that building is not the one to pay for it.
Oh, and I agree with that. So can anyone else, is there anyone here that can speak to this particular issue?
I'll go on to my next question, or Mr. Agostino.
Well, I don't think Commissioner Kemmons is here, but I can tell you that with respect to zombie homes, we do actively cite them and prosecute them in city court. The problem with zombie homes is that, oftentimes the order isn't around. That's the nature of zombie home. But one of the things that we've done to proactively address that is the mortgage and default registry, whereby, we're now working actively with the banks to ensure that these homes never become zombie homes in the first place.
Thank you. On Saturday, there was a very big article in Newsday. DA and feds subpoena IDA records because they got illegal payouts. They did not separate but receive separation payments. So the federal government is actually looking into this. Now, I know that we had asked that Madeline Singus look into our questions, and I'm wondering if that investigation is going on, because this is being taken care of pronto, very fast, they're doing something. And our questions have been hanging around for quite a while, and that was a lot of money. Do you know if it's moving along?
Can anyone speak to corporate counsel, anyone else speak to this issue? If you can, publicly. Again, the statement with respect to our investigation or the status of our investigation.
Aside from the fact that we're cooperating with any investigation, I can't really comment further.
But it is going on, they're looking into, somebody's looking into it?
Any investigations need to cooperate.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's hear from Liz Treston.
On behalf of everyone that attends these meetings, and on behalf of grateful residents, congratulations. So I will return my question as soon as I get my new dog, which is question number 4. Everybody meet MacGyver. You'll have to allow us a couple of weeks to adapt, but we'll get there. Just a couple of housekeeping things. It's just right, it's easy. If you could please speak slower when you're giving the city update. Sure. Because it's very difficult for people that are listening or commanding officers, as well as when President Boyle's information goes by way too quick to hear. I sent an email the other day. How much money to date has the beach park paid?
I provide updates to the council every week. I don't remember what the exact figure is off the top of my head, but council's going to process it.
And just give us a minute, we'll look for that.
Are we on track for your budget?
Well, actually, we're ahead. We are significantly ahead over last year. We fell a little bit short because of those 2 or 3 weeks with the E. coli scare and the boiling water notice. But for that, we'd be exactly where we're supposed to be right now.
Okay, the total sales as of August 4th, $3,738,726.34. We're somewhere around 407,000 is the difference between 2018 and our present time, $407,000.
So, yeah, we're significantly ahead of where we were last year.
See, that's good news. My second question is regarding access to the beach. Can we please put a flyer in each booth so the gatekeepers know the lifeguard number for the sand chairs, as well as what beaches have maps? The gatekeepers, that's the sort of ticket takers, I don't know the best word. They still are uninformed. I was there the other day, and I received a very rude comment. I won't say what beach it was, but there was a flyer there that would have helped significantly.
Okay, so I definitely will follow up with that because I actually went on tour with our chief of lifeguards, Paul Gillespie, about 2 weeks ago, and that was one of the conversations that we had with respect to the Moby Mat. So I guess afterwards, if you could email me the details, or I will follow up with respect to this concern.
And my last question for this evening is there any update on the OEM behind us and the construction on when it will be done? And is it a closer issue that's holding us up, or a contract with closer, or is it what's going on? And is there an update?
Okay, good question.
I don't have the answer to that question. Maybe Commissioner Miranda does.
Okay. Commissioner Miranda, would approach.
So on the number 5 payment made to the contractor, GOSA found a $5.35 mistake. So they held up payments number 6, 7, 8, and 9, which finally got approved. We had to go back through all the things to try to find where this $5.35 was. Now all those payments have been made, the work is back in active again. So we expect the OEM to probably be up and running by September.
Okay, that's good news. Thank you. And thank you once again, Ms. Preston. And I guess I should thank MacGyver. At this time, we'll hear from Mary Bolsa.
Good evening, congratulations to our president and vice president.
Good evening.
I have a couple of things. First off, I would like to join Mike Valori in congratulating our Long Beach Patrol, and I wish them luck this coming weekend. They're going to the Nationals in Virginia Beach, our competition.
All right, let's give them a hand and we'll just congratulations.
I'll be there, so I'll show you. Also, I have, we had a firefighter test, and I noticed that we've had some retiring, and our numbers have like been in half since 3, 4 years ago. On that test, are we hiring anyone? Did you get the results?
No, we didn't get the results yet.
Okay, when you do, are you gonna hire?
That's something I'll discuss with the council.
Well, I think we need to do something because your numbers have dwindled. And I go to all different cities, and I'm telling you right now, I was just in Idaho, and, you need more than 4 on a truck, okay? That's all. So I really hope that our new, elected president and vice president look into this, all right? This is something that needs to be done. The governor allotted millions of dollars for grants for water systems. Have we applied for that grant?
Which
It
grant?
was in Newsday. There, he was just in Newsday,
Which grant
yesterday
that
or
was?
today, Governor Cuomo. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars for water upgrades, renovations, and you have to apply for a grant. Are we applying for a grant? We need to apply.
We're going to ask
I said this a couple of meetings ago, you've had the window of opportunity to bank this to the governor, and are you doing that? We need to do it, period. Next, the roads from Blackheath to actually Maple to Long Beach Road were done, they're beautiful. You can ride over without spilling your water, your tea, your coffee. I think we need to look in the future to get the rest of our main roads done, because it's like we go through Vietnam during the war. Someone is gonna break an axle in their car, and you're gonna be held responsible. I also would like to suggest that you go over the city charter, review that, old, needs updating. Okay, I said the Nationals, and the other thing is, Mr. Miranda, I'm leaving town to go to Virginia Beach, but someone stopped me on the way here and asked if at the stop signs on East Chester and East Pine in the canal, if you could, some of them are faded, people can't really see those white stripes at the stop sign. If, you could add that to your list of things to do. Thank you.
Okay, before you leave, Ms. Bolsevich, Commissioner Miranda, would you just like to address the grant and the water upgrade?
You know what I'm talking about, John, it's just in Newsday.
Yes, so we've applied for, we're in the process of applying for 2 grants, as a matter of fact, passing the 2 bond issues, one on the basin covers, that's $1 million grant, we would get $600,000 if successful. And on the water tank, $9 million project, we could get up to $3 million. Generally speaking, water tanks have not fared well in those applications, but we're submitting the application regardless and hoping that Senator Kaminsky can help push a little bit on that.
Okay, and then also with respect to the firefighter test, when will the test results be available? Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure, I think the message given, I'm not sure, I would speculate that it's gonna be available in the next month or two, but I couldn't say for sure, it's administered by the Civil Service Commission.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, I know my time is up, but, I would suggest, Ms. Moore, that, perhaps you, Mr. Bendo, whoever wants to, maybe you should walk through the West End on a weekend and see what is going on down there. I know you've done walks before in other places, but I think you need to look at the West End. They have problems and issues there, and I think you all need to be made aware of it.
Yes, I attended the last Weston Civic meeting, and a lot of the residents gave me the earful with respect to what's going on. So you will see a Facebook Live edition very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from Crystal Lake.
Good evening, congratulations, Ms. Moore.
Good evening.
Mr. Bendo. Back on November 15, 2016, I drafted, came here.
Oh, maybe just.
Back on November 15, 2016, I drafted a letter requesting the creation of a CBA, a community benefit. I'm also submitting it again today. Here's a copy for everyone. The point of this basically deals with affordable housing, employment, living wages, social, cultural opportunities, and education. And I'm saying that because the sewage treatment plant is in the process of becoming a pumping station. That will make available several acres, which will aid in bayfront redevelopment, and also could be utilized for the relocation of our utilities, such as the water tower and standpipe. The City of Long Beach's technical memorandum issues existing conditions and opportunities dated May 2005. Page 6-3, one sentence basically stated, bayfront redevelopment could create secondary gentrification within that park. Now, it is definitely true the bayfront is an eyesore and something must occur. However, within that sentence, which is not technically totally accurate, this would be the gentrification the first gentrification that occurred was on East Harrison Street within the North Park area. See block 277, change order 72497. I resided at section block and lot 59, lots 32 and 33. 56 East Harrison. The second gentrification occurred on East Chester Street, which was formerly the Wallbound Shopping Mall, 59 to 1096. So, having said that, we want to be in a situation that we will prepare for everyone not to be displaced. On the third page, you will see the Long Beach Comprehensive Plan draft, January 2018, references the CBA and some of my suggestions. However, it is ultimately important moving forward. Bayfront is coming, and it is a project that is definitely needed. However, it must be drafted in a manner that will be beneficial to each and every resident within the city of Long Beach, New York. That can't be my great case.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
So we will
everyone for
review
your time.
this, we will review this once again, and I recall at the times we had major issues, and this is how a lot of the conversations were developed with respect to the city's vision for the comprehensive plan. And so at this time, it's critical that we address this once again. So thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
James Hall. Good evening.
Good evening to each and every one of you. I say congratulations to our president, the first African American president of Long Beach City Council. And congratulations to the vice president, and congratulations to the council. I say congratulations to the whole city of Long Beach as we endeavor to continue marching on in a diverse, respected way, respecting each other. This is a great day. This is a day that many may not know that in 1965, LBJ, August 6th, signed the Voting Rights Act into passage. You may not know that, but you made history on a historic day already. And Martin Luther King was there. So, and that was 54 years ago. And it was in August, 54 years ago today. And in August also, 99 years ago, women had the opportunity to vote. So you are truly making history. And it's not just you, but it's our whole city. So again, congratulations to our city for making this history. Again, and I say that as Martin Luther King said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So let us keep speaking about things that matter. I'm honored to be the chairperson of the Long Beach Martin Luther King Center to witness this history on behalf of all of those that struggled and fought so hard for people and individuals like myself to be able to vote. So I'm excited to be here, and I was excited. I'm excited for all of the things that have been accomplished. But now we fought so hard, and you have the mantle in your hands. And now it's on you. You have the pastors and the community and the people that voted for you and not voted for you, whatever it is. You are the president of this council now. I'm the vice president, and it's a new body structure. And so the mantle is on you. And I pray that God gives you whatever we need for this city, not just a certain population, a part of town, but everyone that will be treated equally. We see what comes from the president, and he don't treat everybody equally. He's racist, he's a bigot, he's so many more things. So I pray that our city can be looked at around this country and see how we do business. Why the Voting Rights Act was put into what gave so much, emphasis on doing it was because of the Montgomery March and the march that was from Selma and on that Pettus Bridge. Law enforcement beat African Americans. Beat African Americans just because they were fighting for the right to vote. And I would like to just thank God that, again, as Ronald said, National Night Out, it's been going on for 35 years. It has been sad what's been going on. And again, 35 years, we should be doing National Night Out. I looked on TV and saw everybody doing it all over the country, and we're not doing it. So let us do what we can to work with the police department. There's new police officers. As a community leader, there's new police officers that I'm sorry to say, I don't know how many months they've been in. I've never met them. And it's sad that I should be. So again, thank you all. Thank you, council. Thank you for what you've been able to accomplish in your tenure. What you didn't accomplish, you can accomplish now. Thank you all. God bless our city.
Thank you. Before we end the meeting, many of you are aware of the fact that today we lost a great hero, a Nobel and Pulitzer Prize author, Toni Morrison. I'd like to leave you with that quote as we think about moving forward. She said, make a difference about something other than yourself. And that's where we are now. We have to think about each other. We're going to continue to restore trust and continue to build our community. I'd like to thank our specials who are here for their service. Sometimes we forget to acknowledge them that they're in the room. And I'd like to thank you for being here. And it was already said, I'd like to once again extend our thanks on behalf of the council for our heroic men and women who engage as first responders and our lifeguards who continue to engage in heroic rescues. Let's continue to encourage them and let's continue to acknowledge them. With that, I thank you for coming and have a very good evening. Safe travels.